You know, it really is, Lauren. As according to the Insurance Information Institute, only about 4% of homeowners nationwide have flood insurance, even though 90% of catastrophes in the U.S. involve some type of flooding. You may think I have homeowners insurance, I'm covered in a flood, but that is not necessarily true.
We are literally an island. The house is an island.
Barrett Hildebrand could only watch as floodwaters surrounded her Lucama home.
This is one of the worst times we have seen it.
The family's home sits in a flood zone, and in order to buy the home, they had to also buy flood insurance, as it's mandatory for people who live in high-risk areas and have a mortgage. But the North Carolina Department of Insurance estimates nearly 30% of all flood insurance claims are for properties outside the special flood hazard areas, and that's where homeowners get caught off guard.
Your homeowner's insurance does not cover the risk of flooding. So when one of these hurricanes or tropical storms comes through and your entire downstairs is covered in water, you call your insurance agent. Unless you've bought a separate flood insurance policy, you're not going to have coverage.
Trevor Burgess with Neptune Flood, a private flood insurance provider, says their data shows less than 3% of properties in North Carolina have flood insurance.
I think as it's become more expensive, as the NFIP has raised their prices, people have made the tough economic decision to actually drop their flood insurance, which means that when Tropical Storm Debbie came through, they didn't have cover for any flooding that they experienced.
Burgess says while FEMA's flood maps are a useful tool, it could also give homeowners a false sense of security.
Many of them have not been updated in years, decades, or even 20 years. And the more outdated they are, the less they take into account things like climate change. How much higher is the sea now? How much warmer is the water? And what has changed in the built environment? I mean, 20 years ago, how many fewer buildings existed in North Carolina? It was an entirely different urban, atmosphere.
That's why Burgess says if your home is anywhere near water, whether that be an ocean, a lake, river, or even a creek, like the Hildebrand's home sits close to, it's key to invest in flood insurance.
And something else you need to know, most flood insurance policies come with a 30-day waiting period. So waiting until a storm is forecast, that will be too late to protect your property. So start thinking about that now. And you may wonder, guys, we were talking about if FEMA will help if your home is flooded. And I've been around here a long time. FEMA does come in to help, but it's not like hundreds of thousands of dollars of rebuilding. It's based on your income, and also a lot of times they're offering you low interest loans, not money to rebuild that way. So.
Flood insurance is something to think about, but the policies have gone up. They've gotten really expensive.
Yeah, they've gone really expensive. That's what he's saying. A lot of people are canceling for that reason. So, but if you're in a flood zone or anywhere close to it, he's like, it really is good to consider some type of policy for flood insurance.
Yeah, all right.
Maybe people do some homework too. We have a lot of newcomers to our city. See what kind of things happen in those neighborhoods.
That's right, absolutely.
Diane, thank you. And